How's it going, YouTube? My name is Ari and welcome back to Blue Lion Finance. Now, if you are stumbling across the Blue Lion Finance channel for your very first episode right now here today, I want to personally welcome you here and get you all up to speed and sharing with you that Blue Lion Finance is a channel solely dedicated to investing, as well as my very own personal journey to amassing $100,000 within my Vanguard brokerage account. Now that account as of today is sitting at $70,095.51. It's certainly been ebbing and flowing right along with the market. Now, if you yourself have been following along in the market, you probably have noticed that just about everybody is hyper concerned and worried about inflation. And now rightfully so, we're just coming out of the pandemic. We're in that recovery mode. But as of right now, with that inflation scare, I have a special treat for you all in today's video, talking about 3 top-notch REITs that you can go ahead and invest in, embracing for the impact of that inflation, all while holding on to those very REITs forever to reap the rewards of those dividends. Now, each of those 3 REITs actually hold the title of a dividend aristocrat, with actually one of them holding the title of a dividend king. So absolutely an episode of Blue Lion Finance you will not want to miss out on. Make sure you watch it through and through. But of course, just before we dive in, make sure you just go ahead and tap on that thumbs up button. It will certainly help me out in growing the Blue Lion Finance channel and getting the word out there. And moreover, if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you go ahead and just tap on that subscribe button for me. I would certainly love to have you along the journey with me. Now, YouTube, with all of that being said, let's get right to it. So just before we actually dive into talking about those 3 REIT stocks that I have picked out for us today, I want to go ahead and talk about what exactly a REIT even is, just so you, me, and everybody else out there are all on the same page when it comes to a REIT. And then more importantly, move in the direction of talking about 3 ground rules that everybody must understand and what makes a REIT an actual worthwhile investment. So let's just get right to it and breaking down what exactly a REIT is. A REIT is a real estate investment trust, aka it's a company that is publicly traded and invests, finances, owns, and operates a property. Now, when you invest in a REIT, you as an investor are actually taking a slice of that pie, almost acting as the owner of those properties. Now, when those tenants of those properties pay rent, you as the investor get to collect on those rent payments through dividends. Now, that all sounds pretty sweet.
But wait, there's more.
Because REITs actually have to pay out 90% of their taxable income from those properties to their investors, aka all of us. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty incredible deal to me. So let's go ahead and talk about those 3 ground rules. So the first ground rule when you're investing in a REIT to make it a worthwhile investment is the very fact that that REIT must have a strong balance sheet with conservative leverage metrics, therefore then ensuring that the REIT has more flexibility to go ahead and fund more rental acquisitions. Now, the second ground rule to follow through on before you invest in a REIT is to take a look at their dividend payout ratio and make sure that that ratio is pretty conservative. What you don't want is a REIT that has an insanely high dividend payout ratio, simply because they're going to be unable to actually grow their portfolio. And of course, then when there's a downturn in the market, guess what? The dividend of that REIT will probably be cut. So just make sure that they have a conservative dividend payout ratio. Last but not least, ground rule number 3 is just making sure that the REIT you're about to invest in actually has incredibly strong and visible growth prospects, aka taking a look at where that REIT is investing geographically. As you know, in real estate, the big 3: location, 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 and then more importantly, making sure that the sector that that REIT invests in is actually a very strong sector, as some sectors within the economy tend to do better than others. Now, moving right along into talking about those 3 top-notch REIT stocks, with the very first one on our list being Realty Income, that's ticker symbol O. When it comes to Realty Income, it is a personal favorite of mine and a company that I've been personally investing in all throughout 2020, dollar cost averaging my way in. Come to speak of it, I'm about to buy more shares of Realty Income this week, as they are still undervalued, but I'm gonna get to that in just a second here. What I wanna talk about is the very fact that they were founded in 1969. So very well established, given as of right now, they have properties across all 50 states, as well as in Puerto Rico and the UK. Primarily, Realty Income invests in retail spaces. They have over 600 different clients with over 6,600 different properties. Their clients range from Walgreens, 7-Eleven, FedEx, CVS, Home Depot, Walmart. Chances are at some point or another you have probably set foot on a Realty Income property and you didn't even know it. Now I want to talk just briefly about that dividend of theirs, because they've been paying dividends out for 25 consecutive years, all while increasing those dividend payouts. As of right now, they have a dividend yield of 4%, and taking a look at their stock is the most exciting part, because in taking a look at the numbers, you can see here that prior to the pandemic, they were trading around $78 per share, and as of right now today, they're trading around $70 per share, meaning that's about an 11.8% discount that you can actually go ahead and purchase Realty Income. Next up, we have Federal Realty Investment Trust, that's ticker symbol FRT. Now, I literally just spoke about Federal Realty Investment Trust in the last video I put up. That video dealt with Dividend Kings, so I'll drop the link up above in case you missed it. But Dividend Kings are companies that have been paying out dividends and increasing those dividends for over 50 years. So when it comes to a dividend king like Federal Realty Investment Trust, the most important thing to note about them is the very fact that they've been paying out dividends for 53 consecutive years. So a very well-established company. They were founded back in 1962 with properties in California, Florida, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and just about all over the Northeast. Now, primarily, Federal Realty Investment Trust invest in shopping centers with retail properties. They have about 100 different shopping centers across the United States with a dividend yield of 3.6%. But again, the most exciting aspect of taking a look at Federal Realty Investment Trust is when we take a look at their stock. Prior to the pandemic, they were trading around $130 per share. As of right now, in this moment, they're around $121 per share. So that's about a 7.4% discount that you can actually get in investing in Federal Realty Investment Trust right now today. Now, last but certainly not least here, we have Essex Property Trust, that's ticker symbol ESS. Essex Property Trust is the youngest of the bunch, being founded in 1971. Though still incredibly mighty, we're about to get to that dividend talk in a second here. Essex Property Trust primarily just invests in apartment complexes, invested heavily in the West Coast. All in all, they have 242 properties, but hey, who's counting? Essex Property Trust has an incredible track record for such a young company with 25 consecutive years of dividend payouts and increases. Now, their dividend yield is sitting at 2.74%, but again, the most exciting part about investing in Essex Property Trust as of right now is the very fact that they are a discounted REIT to invest in, all due thanks to the pandemic, because prior to the pandemic, when looking at the numbers, Essex Property Trust was trading around $320. As of right now, they're trading around $312. That is about a 2.5% discount. Not the most crazy discount you can jump in Essex Property Trust for, but hey, a discount's a discount, and a REIT like Essex Property Trust is an incredibly solid REIT to invest in. And that is it. Those are the three top-notch REITs that I want to recommend for all of you to actually look into. Do your due diligence on them. If you like what you see, definitely go ahead and get invested in them, because truly these are REITs that I believe you can buy today and just hold on to for forever. Now, before I actually go ahead to conclude today's video, I just want to wrap us all up with talking about the real estate industry in and of itself, because real estate is one of the top performing sectors that you can even invest in. Whereas REITs not only stand to benefit from the economic recovery and the reopening of the United States and the global reopening as a whole, but they are an incredible hedge against inflation for all of you out there who are incredibly scared about inflation to come. So just do yourself a favor now, find yourself a REIT, get invested in it for the long run, and just sit back, relax, and collect on those dividends. But before you do, go ahead and just tap on that thumbs up button, because it will greatly help me out in growing the Blue Lion Finance channel and getting the word out there. Moreover, if you have not already subscribed to the Blue Lion Finance channel, go ahead and tap on that subscribe button for me, because I would personally love to have you along the journey with me. Now, YouTube, with all of that being said, and until the next video, I will see you there.
I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every fucking time.